Gendered spaces in Singapore, women and men squeezing into MRT and buses. Our group feels that it is an issue as women's needs for their privacy of space is contradicted here. In this video, we show how the structure of public transport is unfavorable to the females. Proudly brought to you by Jia Hui, Rachel, Veronica, and Fukan. Singapore most capable yet helpful very awesome private limited presents AGE 192 production.
Good morning, Singapore. News has spread far and wide that a woman reported a 17-year-old youth molesting her on the train yesterday. We are definitely very concerned that a harmless daily routine, such as heading to your destination, could bring about such an inappropriate act. As a female and a big fan of public transport, I cannot drive and I cannot afford car, so that a public transport is really very good for me. And I believe that I'm a hot target to be such victim. So today we have news reporter Jia Hui reporting live from Pioneer MRT station regarding the violation of female modesty during the peak hours. Our team, Singapore most capable yet helpful, very awesome private limited, would love to address this issue, raise awareness, and hopefully SMRT will do something about it. Let me bring you to Pioneer MRT station.
Thank you, Veronica. Yes, I'm definitely most concerned as well, as I'm always rushing for the 7:30 AM train and it will be packed like sardines. As much as I try avoid standing close to a male, there's only so much I can do with the little space I have. Well, we shall ask around and see what other Singaporeans feel about this. Morning, sir. Have you heard about an underage youth being accused of molesting a woman yesterday? What are your views about this?
I think that's quite a serious issue. Just the other day, just now I saw this old man, like middle-aged man, start walking into the train, already no space. He push, go across another innocent girl. He pushed at the girl, I think quite nice lah. He just push the girl, then stand at her, 20 minutes next to her. I think it's quite sad. The guy should have a bit of shame, a bit of sense. He push the girl, small girl, he stand next to her for the whole duration, pressed up against her. I think it's quite sad. I know Japan, they have something like women only carriage, right? Singapore should introduce something like that.
I see. Thank you for your views.
Thank you.
Pertains to outrage of modesty and sexual harassment in trains as increasing common trend. So it's a situation whereby women are being caught, being surrounded among men, and then men actually will take advantage of this situation and commit molest. Whereby even if ladies can take preventive measures to stay away from these guys, we can't really do much if you are actually packed in a train like that. And then I don't think that women should be subjected to such situations whereby they will be taken advantage when they are just going to work. And I think this problem has been also an issue to our neighboring countries such as Japan and Indonesia. That's why I think Singapore should also consider having a female-only cabin. Wow, I didn't know Singaporeans feel as strongly as me regarding this matter. Okay, back to you, Veronica.
Thanks, Jia Hui. Now that we have seen the concerns of Singaporeans, I wonder how we can resolve this problem. We have actually arranged to make a phone call to an expert who specializes in gender issues like this. Let us welcome Mr. Teo. Hi, Mr. Teo. You have seen all the commotion regarding the molestation case that happened just yesterday. What are your opinions and what do you think can be done to prevent such things from happening again?
Hi, yes, I actually do have the same views as all the interviewees, including regarding both sides of the arguments of having female-only cabins. Figures collated from police news releases shows that 46 men have been arrested since January in connection with at least 54 cases. 20 of the alleged offences took place on public buses or trains, or when the victims were near train stations or bus stops. It does show how people can take advantage of a situation to do funny things to violate others. On the other hand, it might also show that women are the only victims here, and males must be the perpetrators, which then again displays some kind of stereotypical thoughts. In response to a comment that such implementations give a wrong idea, that we might actually be stereotyping all the males in Singapore as lecturers, which might actually be totally untrue, what we are trying to do here, is to protect the modesty of the ladies and provide a safe and comfortable journey to even our female tourists.
Oh, that's true. Then what about buses? We can't exactly have a female-only cabin buses.
Well, you have a point there, But what we can do actually, like maybe for double-decker buses, we can suggest that the upper deck be reserved specifically for ladies, and ladies have the option thus to proceed there if they feel uncomfortable in the lower deck. Hence, they have another option. As for the long buses, the second section could actually be reserved for the ladies. We can suggest also that there should be an addition of another door to the second section, as currently there is only one door entering for the first cabin. This helps to facilitate the entrance and exit of the female passengers. The various bus companies should also increase the frequency of checks and also increase the penalty for passengers who did not tap in. Once again, we need to reconsider the whole gender issue here. We are protecting the females, but who will be protecting the males? For this point, we have to look at what Merton talks about when he talks about unintended consequences. In that, we are trying to obliterate one form of oppression or discrimination, we do not unexpectedly create another. This idea can be borrowed also by Paulo Freire, who talks about we shouldn't make the oppressed become the oppressor. In other words, in obliterating discrimination for the women, we shouldn't be starting to oppress the men by stereotyping them and pushing them and making them uncomfortable into the situations. So looking at the case of Singapore, in the search of equality, we should not forget that differences exist that require our attention. Singapore has done extremely well to make a homogeneous society with homogeneous public places. But circumstances are such that we cannot simply stick to what has worked. Singapore has seen a massive increase in its population due to the influx of foreigners during the turn of the century. Now, we are being faced with a new problem that has never been tackled, that of overcrowded trains. Other countries have faced this issue before and most have achieved a level of success, but there are also new problems that come with these solutions. That of discrimination against males as a result of pro-women movements. Although they may sound weak on the surface, we must be careful not to replace one oppression with another. Instead, we should strike a fine balance that benefits all parties. In the case of Singapore specifically, where we have a good participation of women in the workforce, I think it is actually very viable to adopt women-only carriages during peak hours to avoid any unwanted situations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teo, for your time. It has been very helpful indeed. So now we have settled the overcrowding issues in the train. Could there be another problem regarding the structure of the cabin itself? Let me bring you back to Pioneer MRT station.
Now, what about other gender issues regarding the design of public transport? Let me think. I actually have a friend who is 140 cm tall and she's always having difficulties trying to reach the handles in the buses or train. She will end up pulling my shirt or pulling me along when the buses turn or the train comes to a stop. This will put us both in danger.
Thank you for raising a very interesting point, Jiahui. Now we will show you a short clip highlighting the issue.
Is it an issue for females, especially because we tend to be of a smaller build?
So now that we are aware of the problem in the structure of the cabin, let us invite Ms. Tan and seek professional help from her.
Well, I do observe the same problem when I'm taking the public transport as well. So perhaps instead of sticking to the stationary handles, we can actually design something that is retractable, whereby you can modify, whereby you can adjust according to your comfort level. So you can get the passengers that are beside you to help you pull it down before you hold it. Yeah, so this is the design that we came up with.
Ms. Tan, for your insight. Personally, I do believe that it's a very brilliant idea, especially for short people like me. Let's hope that LTA will look into this suggestion and improve the travelling experience of our commuters. Thank you for staying with us, and we hope that we have brought you some new insights on the gender spaces in Singapore. Tune in next week as we tackle some other issues. Have a good day. Wow, finally you don't have to squeeze any guys anymore.
Wow, so shocked ah! I don't need to worry when going to work anymore.